What's up, guys? It's Tom. Back to do another jazz update video. Just woke up, so good morning for me. It's Friday. Hopefully everyone has a good weekend. But let's just get into this. First up, I have actually not a jazz album, but a blues album. This was $1. So basically, what this is, it's described as Louisiana Blues, done by a musician from Poland, Polish musician. There's Polish vocals on this. Released in 1988. So the artist is Jan Skrzyszek, and the name of the album is Nikt nie zawróci kijem Wisły, which basically means Wisła is one of the main rivers in Poland, and basically means no one will turn the stick, or no one can. Yeah, basically no one can turn the river with the stick, which kind of sounds weird, but I guess it makes more sense in Polish. Just the label, pretty plain. Yeah, this was alright. I'm not like huge blues fan to begin with, so I'm really probably not an authority on blues, but this was just okay. Not amazing. Not even, I don't think, amazing as far as blues goes. I don't know. If someone, if you want this, if you've heard this before, or you check it out, decide you want it, I have no problem sending it out to someone, or trading, PCLT, whatever. Not really my thing, so, but figured I'd take a chance for it for $1, see how my people do Louisiana Blues. Maybe I just need to find different artists, because this one wasn't really my thing, but still, glad I listened to it. Alright, so moving into the jazz, we have a couple from Indian Navigation. First up is Anthony Davis. He's a piano player. This is Variations in Dreamtime from 1983. So the lineup on here is Anthony Davis on piano, George Lewis on trombone, Abdul Wadud on cello, Firoan Aklaf on drums. I've always had problems saying his name. I think it's Firoan Aklaf on drums, J.D. Parran on clarinet, bass clarinet and flute, and Rick Rose on bass. Ricky Rouse, the Bucks. No, not him. Not Rick Rouse. If you are familiar with jazz, it's not the same guy by far. It'd be funny if it was, though. Yeah, but this is probably my favorite Anthony Davis album, or solo album, I should say. Even though it's not a solo album, but where he's he's playing as the leader. Pretty good. Like I said, it's 2 tracks. Both about 20 minutes. First side A is 24 minutes. Side B is a suite called Enemy of Light, which in 3 parts, but 22 minutes. Like I said, my favorite album from him on Indian Navigation. He's only had 2 on Indian Navigation, so that's not right. My favorite album from him, I guess I would say, when he's the leader. So I know he played with Leo Smith, David Murray, and a bunch of other groups, which I like those albums better, I would say, but as far as his own work, really, really good. Yeah, how much more I can say about this other than check it out. It is free jazz. Really good, though, definitely really good. Maybe a little bit slept on. I don't know if people know about Anthony Davis or not. I'm assuming they do, but in case you don't, definitely check it out. Really nice free jazz on Indian Navigation. I would also say check out his first album, which I forget what the name of it is now. I think it has a red cover. Definitely check that out. I think it came out in '79, I want to say, so definitely check that one out as well. And also Lady of Mirrors, which came out before this, also on Indian Navigation, also worth checking out for sure. And the second one on Indian Navigation, which this record blew me away when I heard it. Recently I heard it for the first time. I had it on digital first, and then I had to cop this when I saw it, especially for an okay price. Alan Braufman, Valley of Search on Indian Navigation from 1975, and the lineup on here is just great. David Lee on drums, Cecil McBee on bass, Ralph Williams on percussion, Cooper Moore, who's billed as Gene Ashton on here, plays the piano, dulcimer, and recitation, and Alan Braufman on alto, flute, and pipe horn. But amazing, spiritual, free, just a deep, heavy piece right here. I was talking to, I posted this on the Facebook group, one of the Facebook groups, And someone said this is a desert island disc for them. I could definitely understand why, because the more I listen to it, the more I just love it. Absolutely love it. Just amazing, amazing playing. Like I said, they do, you know, go deep, and it's a little bit, maybe, could be challenging for people that aren't into free jazz like that sometimes, but definitely awesome. Like I said, really spiritual, and just amazing playing. I don't know what to say on here. Definitely, if you're not familiar with Cooper Moore, I believe this is his first recorded appearance. I believe, I could be wrong about that, but I did read that. He's a designer and a builder of instruments. He's also a composer. He's also, obviously, a piano player, plays the piano on this. But definitely check out some of his work. I would say it's worth checking out if you're not familiar with him. But yeah, definitely great, great album. Like I said, the more I listen to it, the more I love it. So I would definitely recommend that one. Alan Braufman, Valley of Search from 1975 on Indian Navigation. Alright, moving on here, we have, what's this? Okay. So, one from ESP, or ESP-Disk. This is Giuseppi Logan with More. His second album. I believe he only put out 2 albums in the 60s as far as I know. This one, and then from 1966 this is, and then there's one before this from 1965 when he plays with the Giuseppi Logan Quartet, which I would still love to find that and search for that one. But this album right here, really good. 4 tracks. Side A, 2 tracks on each side. Side A basically is from the same concert as Albert Ayler's Bells record, where that came from. So it came from the same concert at Town Hall, May 1st, 1965. Awesome, you know, awesome playing. So the lineup on here is really pretty damn good too. You got Giuseppi Logan on alto sax, bass clarinet, flute piano, Don Pullen on piano, Milford Graves on drums, Reggie Johnson on bass on side A, and Eddie Gomez on bass on side B. Awesome playing though. Definitely a bit more challenging record if you're not into free jazz. I would say don't start with this guy by any means. But if you are into free jazz and you're you know, either if you're into it or you're just interested in it and you're ready to take the plunge, I would say definitely, this is definitely one of the records that maybe check out, see if you would like it, because this one definitely goes in pretty good shape considering there's a some sticker wear right there, and there's a stamp right here from the guy that owned it. This is ESP-Disk 1013, so the 13th release on the label, I believe, or maybe not. I don't think they went, you know, number by number. I know there's a couple spaces missing, but definitely an early release on ESP. So yeah, definitely heavy free jazz. Like I said, if you're not into free jazz, definitely don't check this out because you probably won't like it. But if you are, oh yeah, by the way, check out this cover. Awesome, right? Love that cover art. Awesome cover art. So yeah, Giuseppi Logan, More, 1966. And then we have an album by two of the founders, well, the 2 founders, I should say, of Strata-East, Stanley Cowell and Charles Tolliver. This is Live at Slugs Volume 2, along with Cecil McBee and Jimmy Hops. Recorded it in 1970, released in 1973. This is the only, Music Inc. album I have. Would love to get the other ones, Volume 1 and the self-titled album. But someone took really good care of this. This is as far as I can open the gatefold without, you know, cracking the spine more. So, really good shape. The same guy right here, if you can see the stamp, John Xavier Cohen, is it? Corbin. He numbered all his records as well. But yeah, great playing. Really excellent jazz. You know, really excellent bop, hard bop, post bop, whatever. Awesome. The traditional Strata-East label there. Very well known. But yeah, excellent playing on here. I would definitely recommend this to anyone who likes jazz. Definitely worth checking out. Not much to say about this other than if you're not familiar with Strata-East, I would say definitely check out some stuff on the label. I think this would be a great start. Any of the Music Inc. stuff, Live at Slugs Volume 1, Volume 2, self-titled album. All great. So happy to find that for a reasonable price. Sold from Volume 1. Like I said, alright, moving on from that, we have a record that's been shown in the VC numerous times, but I just never, I don't know, I was always slacked on picking it up. I've had it digitally for the longest time, but never actually picked up the vinyl, for no good reason really, but I found it for 10 bucks, sealed, $9.99, had to jump on it. This is East New York Ensemble de Musique at the helm. Originally released in 1974. This is a reissue from 2010. Smithsonian Folkways. Originally released on Folkways Records. Awesome, just really awesome deep spiritual record with elements of Middle Eastern music and Asian music, other world music, maybe some African thrown in there. It's awesome. Awesome. I think the label's pretty plain, but I'll show it anyway. Yeah, like I said, I know people have showed this and posted this numerous times, but I just finally picked it up. Like I said, 10 bucks, I wasn't going to pass it up, especially already knowing how much I love this record. I think this would be a great start for anyone who is looking to maybe get into spiritual jazz or not familiar with it. Definitely worth checking out right here. Yeah, they do a cover of Sunflower by Freddie Hubbard. There's the first track, Melvana, is based on a Turkish religious melody, which I always thought was great. I always loved that first track, but definitely worth checking out. So some of the instruments they play on here is soprano sax, Korean reed, vibraphone, drums, bass, Turkish drum, Congo drums, and African twin gong, which I thought was interesting. I'm sure I'm going to butcher the names. I'm not even going to butcher try to pronounce the names and do them the disservice of that. Just East New York Ensemble de Musique, look for that if you are familiar with it, even though probably are, because like I said, if you're in the VC, it's posted a lot, talked about quite a bit. Alright, moving on, we have a classic musician, one of the forefathers, I would say, jazz and bop, is Bud Powell. Here, this is Bud Powell 57. I think original release is Bud Powell 55 on the Norgren label, I want to say. This is a reissue on Verve. Obviously a Japanese reissue, as you can see, from 1981. Really nice though, really clean. So let me show the label. It is a mono as well. Forgot to mention that it is a mono. So you guys can see that nice label. Really clean labels. Bunch of great players on here too. Bud Powell is a pianist. If you're not familiar with him, one of the earliest pianists, I guess, in jazz and bop. A lot of people has mentioned him as their influence, and I could definitely see why. He's great, you know, he's just awesome. So there's a bunch of different players on here. On side A you have Percy Heath on bass and Max Roach on drums. And on side B you have Lloyd Trotman on bass and Art Blakey on drums. So switching it up there for side A and side B, but that's awesome though. I think they both sound great. Yeah, not much to say about this other than check it out if you're not familiar with Bud Powell. Definitely look up his stuff, because I think it's definitely worth checking out, especially this album too, Bud Powell 57. Alright, and the last three here. First up we have another classic album, Miles Davis, Sketches of Spain. I've showed this before, but ended up selling that copy. Wanted to upgrade, so we got this one. This is a original from 1960 on the 6i Columbia label. Awesome jazz from Miles Davis. Definitely more accessible, I would say, than some of his other stuff. Has elements of world music, maybe some elements of classical music thrown in there. Really good. arranged and conducted by Gil Evans. Yeah, definitely one to, I would say, definitely one to check out. Because if you're into jazz, you probably know it. But if you're not into jazz, I would say one of the best places to start. Maybe something that it's not traditional jazz, but still not as out there. You know, still not like free jazz or not as improvisational as maybe some of his other stuff. So there's that, and then the last two here we have a couple records from John Coltrane. The first one being First Meditations for Quartet by John Coltrane. I believe James Burry showed this recently, so I think we picked it up around the same time. But yeah, really, really great, awesome album. This album, actually, if you don't know, it came out 2 months before the Meditations album. Even though that one was released in the 60s, this one was recorded that time, but only released in 1977. So it is on that green and purple blue label there. ABC Impulse. I don't know what the cover art here. I'm not really a fan of the cover art, and it is a bit misleading because the music is so good, but cover art is just, I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know why they chose that. I'm sure there's a reason for choosing that, but I don't know. So like I said, recorded in 1965, so it does have the original lineup. You know, the first quartet: John Coltrane, McCoy Tyner, Jimmy Garrison, Elvin Jones. Really awesome. Just 2 months later, they switched it up and added Pharoah Sanders and Rashid Ali on drums. So 4 tracks from here made it onto Meditations, although there are alternate versions, different versions obviously, with different players. I think this album is maybe a bit tighter, in a sense, more tighter playing than on Meditations. And I think I may like this one a bit more, maybe, now that I've listened to it. I did like Meditations more, but I would say there's a consensus that's the better album from what I've heard. But I think personally I may like this one a bit more. I don't know. I'll just go back and forth since having heard this one. But yeah, John Coltrane Meditations, first Meditation, for Quartet, 1977. Yeah. And lastly here we have John Coltrane's Ohm. Basically just a beater copy. Ohm, a couple bucks, but I didn't have it in physical, so wanted to get it. Yeah, really beat up, as you can see. It's got sticker wear and writing, but just amazing, amazing deep spiritual album from John Coltrane. Really far out there jazz if you're not familiar with it. On this label, which was either a 1973 or 1974 pressing of the neon black and neon Impulse label, which I usually wouldn't buy stuff on, but for a couple bucks for Ohm, I'm not going to pass it up, you know. There's a sale going on when I grabbed it, so I knew if I left it there, it wasn't going to be there. So this will tide me over until I find an update. As messed up as the cover is, though, the vinyl's in pretty damn nice shape, considering. But yeah, the music on here, like I said, really heavy, really heavy free jazz. Some writing on the inside too, and the personnel on here we got lineup: John Coltrane, McCoy Tyner, Jimmy Garrison, Dal Garrett, Elvin Jones, Joe Brazil, and Pharoah Sanders. So awesome album if you're into the more freer improvisational side of jazz, then I would definitely recommend checking out Ohm. It wasn't $10, by the way. Yeah, but awesome album. By the way, it's got some crazy chanting on that album, which I know they do some chants from, like there's some chants from the Tibetan Book of the Dead, which I found to be pretty nuts that they chose stuff like that, but still crazy. Really great music regardless. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will be back in a couple weeks probably.